There's the stage.
Firstly, can I just say that I'm really glad that no one has to brave the element to come see us tonight. And secondly, I feel especially excited to be back here because I've spent almost 25 years in Tampines myself.
It is now our turn to secure a future for the next generation of Singaporeans and the generations to come. One topic that was repeatedly brought up during the house visits that I joined, as well as in just daily conversations that I have with other parents, are the concerns that we as parents have for our children. The ever-increasing cost of living makes parents think twice about having more children. I have met quite a few young couples who are holding back from starting families as they wait for their BTOs to be completed, while also weighing the cost of each child that they plan to have. The increase in GST, let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, is just one more hurdle. We must change the way in which we view HDB flats. They should not be just wealth accumulation vehicles. They should be affordable homes for Singaporeans to live in. HDB prices cannot continue to increase indefinitely. This is not viable for us, for Singapore and for Singaporeans. Kita sepatutnya mengecualikan lebih banyak barangan keperluan daripada GST, termasuk barangan makanan asas.
Our second speaker, who is a candidate from the East Coast GRC, is none other than Jasper Kuan. Let's welcome him to the
It's the cornerstone of my life. My wife and 3 young children mean the world to me. They are my inspiration, my driving force, and the reason I stand here today. Allow me to share a personal story about my family, one that shaped my decision to step up and run for election under the Workers' Party banner. Will you just accept the GST vouchers, the Siti handout, and the La-Boo-Boos and say it's okay? In keeping the same, you will risk an uncertain future for our children. So, will you step up? Will you choose courage? Will you choose hope? Will you choose change? It is time to build a future for our children by voting the Workers' Party! With your vote, a vote for the Workers' Party is a vote not just for yourself, but also a vote for your children and their children. Your vote for the Workers' Party will make it happen.
Wow, thank you, Jasper. That was a really powerful speech. Next
Navy as a military woman for 6 years. Many people have assumed I served those 18 years in Singapore, my motherland. I decided to step down from the US Navy to step up for the Workers' Party. நான் பேசப்பட்டுக் கொண்ட ஒரு சிங்கப்பூர் தமிழ் பதிவு நேர்மை மற்றும் நீதியானவை மிக முக்கியமானவை என்று நான் மிகவும் தைரியமான மற்றும் துடிப்பான ஒரு பெண். நான் சிங்கப்பூர் கடற்படையில்
Thank you. So next up we have another candidate from the Aljunied GRC. His name is Fadli Fawzi. Let's welcome him on stage.
Salam sejahtera pengundi-pengundi Singapura. Nama saya Fadli Fawzi. Saya telah tinggal di Aljunied GRC selama lebih dari 30 tahun. That's why we believe that childcare should be on a per-child basis and last under the children as well. Parents should never be forced to choose between losing their job and caring for their sick children. To make sure we can keep working for you, vote for the Workers' Party to make sure we can keep working for families, and vote for the Workers' Party to make sure we can keep working for Singapore.
看听 take 陈清德、但宾尼集选区的候选人，让我们欢迎他上台。
但宾尼集选区的选民们，但宾尼上议单选区的选民们，共产党来了！我是陈清德，共产党但宾尼集选区竞选团队的候选人之一。对我而言，养家糊口、小人物的我，只能默然接受。同事跟我一样，花了很多时间在加班。一个健全的民主国家，一党独大。我相信国会民主繁荣与进步，共同努力。执政党没有接上。共产党的中期目标是争取。
Okay, next up we have another candidate from the East Coast GRC. Let's welcome Sufyan, Putra, Kamil on the stage right now.
Thank you, my friends and fellow Singaporeans. My name is Sufyan, and I am one of the candidates for Team East Coast GRC to give my first ever rally speech with you here on this very ground where I attended junior college. I grew up in the East, and for me, all of us GCs gathered here today truly feels like family. Why vote for the Workers' Party? For those of you out there who are facing this dilemma, let me say this. What we are fighting for is to build a balanced political system with political competition keeping both sides working harder for you. And with multiple viewpoints debated in Parliament. This is the way to strive for better policy outcomes for you, your families, and for Singapore. Our presence in Parliament
GRC. His name is Michael Thng.
And I proudly stand before you as a candidate for Tampines GRC under the Workers' Party. I ask because standing amongst you today in this electric atmosphere, I think about the first time I attended my Workers' Party rally in 2006, some 20 years ago. I was a JC student, not TJC. But if not for you, if you did not show up that day, if you did not embrace me the way you did in 2006, I will not be here today. And so in many ways, I have all of you to thank for my journey to this day. So thank you. And to the many students who changed out their school uniforms and came to the stadium today, I hope to see many of you on stage here in a couple of years. Even the PAP is beginning to acknowledge this. Because just last week they admitted that the government does not have a monopoly on good ideas. That no one does. But then if so, why should they have a monopoly in Parliament? And that's why I stepped forward. It's because I believe in this work and I want to keep building on it. I want a political system where issues can be raised early, openly, and constructively. One that has compassion and where Singaporeans see themselves reflected in it. Not one where data is withheld from us, or where we are gaslit all the time for what we are seeing. We don't want to be told that the sky is white when we see it is blue. Is good policy when we know it could have been postponed? We don't want to be told that after $500 million was spent, the best that Singapore can produce when it comes to the ERP is a clunky 3-unit system. In my mind, answering the opposition is serving the Singapore people. And I'll tell you, the most common thing I hear is why it takes so long to come here. So Tampines, we are here. So come May the 3rd, you will all have a chance to make your voices heard. You will all have a chance to build a better Singapore, a more inclusive Singapore, one where your voices are given equal weight in the policy-making process. So I ask you, will you vote for the Workers' Party? Will you tell your friends and family to vote for the Workers' Party? Because we can only win if we do this together. If you get your friends together, your family together, people you kind of know who live in Tampines together, and get everybody to vote for the Workers' Party. Tampines, thank you so much for welcoming us. Vote the Workers' Party.
because of the current spending limits of $500 or $700 per year to be removed. I met one such lady at a coffee shop at Serangoon North yesterday. She asked me why caring for elderly parents was not treated the same way as childcare in terms of having paid leave. You know, in the PAP manifesto, there is one sentence about caregivers. It reads, strengthen support for caregivers, the unsung heroes in our families. There are no details stated about how this will be done. The cost for this should be shared equally. The goal of the Workers' Party is to enable our seniors to live their golden years with security, dignity, and purpose. You can see how having competition makes the PAP pay more attention to you. One man recently shared his opinion with me in Chinese. 如果没有反对党，哪里有钱拿？ You know, I've been in Parliament for 19 years. It was just Mr. Lau Piagam and myself at first. But Singaporeans understood the need to send more WP MPs into Parliament. Step by step, from Aljunied in 2011, then 9 years later in Sengkang, you have seen your voice growing louder and louder. You have also sown the seeds for fellow Singaporeans to step up. Just look at the candidates we have on stage today. So I say this to you, my fellow citizens. This election in 2025, remind the government that it was seniors who built this country. Send a strong signal that more needs to be done for seniors to live with security, dignity, and purpose. So come back to me. Make your vote count. At this election, let's create our own kind of silver tsunami. Vote for the Workers' Party. Working for Singapore.
Thank you, Sylvia, and thank you for your contribution as one of the longest serving MP from the Workers' Party. Next up, we have our very special SMC candidate, Kenneth Kuan, who will be contesting in the Tampines Changkat SMC.
I'm Kuan, Kenneth, the Workers' Party candidate for Tampines SMC. In the past, Tampines was one GRC. After the last electoral boundary review, you got straight to 2. Feels like East and West Germany, and South Korea. But don't worry, the Workers' Party has a plan. It is called the Tampines flag. Voting all the WP candidates in Tampines, including me, and also one town councillor. Some of you may know I contested in Punggol GRC in 2020. Residents asked me, hey Kenneth, how come doesn't come out? I asked myself, what do I bring to the table? For 20 years, I worked in public service, helping ex-offenders reintegrate. Then in the charity, supporting cancer patients. At the same time, I did grassroots work and served as a town councillor for 10 years. Last but not least, I'm a Lue Ping. An old NS man, I volunteered to serve beyond the 10-year cycle. I've been in the armed forces for 20 years. I gave 20 years of my life serving the underprivileged, serving Singaporeans, serving our country. And now, if you give me the chance, I want to dedicate the next 20 years of my life serving you. Will you give me the chance to serve you? Why do we need to have a special offer in the first place? This is because cost of living is escalating. Inflation goes up. And Singaporeans like you and me are feeling the pinch. Would you just go PAP because of this $2 breakfast that they give you? No! Come on, PAP. With your multi-million candidate, you can do better than this for Singaporeans. So I say, Singaporeans, don't be taken for a ride. If something seems like a scam, call Sengkang. Or better, vote for the Workers' Party to block the nonsense. If WP wins, will definitely Changkat be elected. I give my promise that it won't be used. Will it become a slum? Like what PAP used to say about Hougang SMC? Yeah, right, let me tell you, I've lived in Hougang for 30 years of my life. I know what PAP will throw at us, but Hougang never give up. We go back. Yes. Because we got the courage to believe, and we have the ability to make things better for ourselves. When they say leave upgrading, delay, no problem. The residents say if elected, I will fight to my last breath for the welfare of Tampines Changkat residents. Now, the question is, are you with us? If you are, let's start building the Tampines Changkat spirit. And I ask you to vote for me and my fellow Workers' Party candidates into Parliament on May the 3rd. And so, on May the 4th, May the 1st be with us. Vote for the Workers' Party so we can keep working for you and for Singapore.
Thank you, Kenneth, for your wonderful Tampines plan. I'm very sure if you get elected, your Tampines plan is going to be much better than the East Coast plan. Okay, the next speaker is a candidate from the Tampines GRC. He is Dr. Ong Lue Ping, 淡滨地区选区候选人黄佩斌。
I am Dr. Ong Lue Ping. I am a father of 3 teenagers aged between 14 and 19. And our children find jobs after their education. Can they even afford a HDB when they grow up? Is my work as a psychologist at the Institute of Mental Health for the past 22 years. I have witnessed firsthand the negative impact of our pressure cooker system on the mental health and well-being of our Singaporeans, especially our young people. Every day, my colleagues and I fight tooth and nail to help our patients overcome their emotional struggles. I have stayed so long in public healthcare service and not go to private practice like some doctors that we know in Tampines because I want to help all my fellow Singaporeans regardless of their status and income level. Do we want our children and future generations of Singaporeans to be burdened by the stage mentality and the perpetual state of vulnerability that our generation has been burdened with? Or do we want to stand up together to tell the PAP-40 leaders that Singapore's best is yet to be? And together, let's be the hope of a better day for Singapore. I am Dr. Ong Lue Ping, a worried father, a dedicated public healthcare psychologist, and a loyal Singaporean. This is who I am, and building an inclusive, fair, happy, and a better Singapore is what I stand for. Vote for the Workers' Party. Working for you, working for Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ong. Another respectable candidate that has
已经过十几号了，伊人一世人行了红赛，行了行孙，好了社会，好了国家。他们把青春奉献给了。我希望这次的大选里面，你们可以把宝贵的一票投给我们工人党，让我们在国会为你们发声，为国家为你们效劳。请投帮人党一票，请投我人，请为我人的国家投一票，给我人机会为新加坡少打拼。万元万事工人党，感谢，谢谢。
For your amazing opening speech. Next up, we have our final candidate for the Tampines GRC. I'm sure you guys have all been waiting for him. He is Muhammad Faisal bin
dan selamat Hari Raya. Panjang tahun. Mana tu? My name is Muhammad Faisal. Age 50, I'm married with a lovely wife, only one wife. And have 3 children. Because this is my fourth GE. I was, as many of you have known it, the Aljunied GRC member of Parliament for 3 terms. 2011, 2015, 2020, and 2025. Well, yeah. Tampines! Tampines! Oh! Before this DE, I'm humbled to be given the trust by the group's leadership to lead the team contesting in this Tampines GRC. I'm very heartened and very grateful to my teammate, Dr. Ong Lue Ping, Miss Eileen, Mr. Sylvia, the singer, and my doctor. You heard him speak just now, right? Just now? Okay, all of them, I really appreciate what they've done. They have stepped up from their comfort zone. I would like to say a few words to my former constituents of Kaki Bukit Ward of Aljunied GRC. Hopefully I don't cry. Residents of Kaki Bukit Ward of Aljunied GRC. My 14 years life journey with you all. Allow me to pledge my commitment and recite my oath to you, residents of Tampines GRC. I am a minority candidate, a Malay Muslim. Regardless, I will serve the residents of Tampines GRC, regardless of race, language, or religion, equally. Our President, Mr. Tharman, who was then Finance Minister, was quoted as saying that he thinks a strong opposition is good for the PAP and for Singapore. He said good, good for Singapore and good for the PAP. Right? More recently, in a podcast interview with the Straits Times in March this year, Minister Ong Lue Ping, he starts with the point that the elections are about producing an effective system of government. It was reported that he mentioned, I quote, of course, in people's minds now, that thinking is a good outcome, that is a PAP government, but with the opposition as check and balance. That's a good confirm this with me. Unquote. I would like to thank our President Mr. Taman and Mr. Oika for acknowledging the need for a strong opposition for the betterment of Singapore. Fellow Singaporeans, the next chapter is why the Workers' Party, YWP. It is because we, the Workers' Party, are a loyal opposition. Loyal to whom? Yes, loyal to Singapore and loyal to all of you Singaporeans. How does WP plan to do this? WP has produced a 132 pages manifesto featuring 125 policy proposals. Apart from this proposal, we have also reflected 15 policies which have been adopted in some form. I do hope you find the time to go through our proposal. Cannot go through one time a day. Okay. So much warmth, support, and patience showed by the residents of Tampines in the last few days. Welcoming me and my teammates in Tampines GRC, it made me feel like the balik kampung feeling. It made me feel that I'm still in kaki bukit ward of Aljunied GRC. Thank you, Tampines GRC residents, for making me feel at home for the past few days. And looking forward to make Tampines GRC as my second home for the next 5 years.
Thank you, Faisal, for stepping out of your comfort zone of Aljunied GRC to step up for Tampines GRC. We are now at the last speech of the night, and we still have our last speaker that will be coming forward to speak to all of you. He is the leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Tampines. My fellow Singaporeans, residents of Tampines GRC and Tampines Childcare SMC, good evening. I understand there are voters who have put the PAP manifesto and the WP manifesto through large language AI models and compare how they stack up against one another. Singapore is a far more complex society and it will always need fresh thinking. Yet we have a PAP manifesto without specific policy ideas. I believe it is because the PAP wants Singaporeans to sign a blank check. The PAP manifesto is short on specific proposals and policies. Ironically, this is one reason why there are Singaporeans who believe that as long as we have a strong and incorruptible civil service, the PAP is far less important than it thinks. Look at the PAP manifesto chapter on housing affordability, something so many Singaporeans worry about. The PAP promises to keep HDB flats affordable. But how? The only solution I can see is to increase taxpayer subsidies. Where will the taxes come from with ever-increasing land prices? They'll come from all of us. And what about lease decay? What happens when HDB flats run out their leases? They are returned to the state and they have no value.
The PAP has proposed VERS, the Voluntary Early Redevelopment Scheme. But when the WP asks for details in Parliament, the PAP says, akan datang. VERS is many years away. But Singaporeans, especially those who purchase resale flats, need those details now, so they can plan for the future and their retirement and their golden years. Many families are buying resale flats with 60 or 70 years left on the lease at prices nearing or even surpassing $1 million. These families need more details about VERS before their resale flats start to lose value and before the families are left with little in retirement savings. What does the PAP manifesto say about this concern? Nothing at all. The PAP expects the civil service to work out the options and the policy details in good time, no doubt. But when these ideas are taken up by the PAP and debated in Parliament, it is important that we have a rational, responsible and respectable debate in Parliament about it, not a rubber stamp. This is what a vote for the Workers' Party will give the residents of Tampines GRC and Tampines Changkat SMC. Your voice deserves a place in Parliament. A vote for the Workers' Party will bring it there. At these general elections, 2 Workers' Party candidates in single-member constituencies are taking on 2 PAP candidates who are also the NTUC Secretary General and an NTUC Assistant Secretary General respectively. Residents of Tampines, there is no shortage of PAP Labour MPs in Parliament. Voting in these 2 PAP NTUC candidates will not make a difference. Instead, I invite you to cast your vote for a more balanced Parliament. Please vote for Kenneth in Tampines Changkat SMC and vote for Alia in Alljunied SMC. Voting them into Parliament will make a difference. Now let me talk about PAP candidates and the NTUC. In 2015, in the Kaki Bukit division of Aljunied GRC, the PAP candidate was Shamsul Kamal. He was a school teacher before the elections and he resigned to contest elections. But after losing the elections, he found employment in NTUC. NTUC is a safe harbor for losing PAP candidates. Become MPs, they will probably continue to work in NTUC. They will continue to serve workers with the help of rank and file unionists and workers who are truly the backbone of NTUC. Now, a few days before the writ of election was issued, one social media site proclaimed that the NTUC Secretary General's leadership at NTUC drove the launch of the Job Seeker Support Scheme. Ang Meng's work at NTUC shows that he and Desmond Chu do not need to be elected to Parliament to look after workers. Voters in Singaporeans, keep them focused on their NTUC job. The PAP team for Aljunied GRC in these elections would probably agree with me. If you give the Workers' Party candidates your votes, then as MPs they will work hard on the ground. Kenneth will look after the town councils in Tampines, Changkat and Jalan Kayu. They will also be part of the loyal opposition in Singapore. In Parliament, working for all of you. Then MPs in Parliament. But here is what happened last year. Many Singaporeans spoke up against the proposed sale of income insurance by NTUC Enterprise to Alia when it came to light. But members of Parliament only had the opportunity to question the government in Parliament on the proposed sale of NTUC income for the first time in August 2024. Workers' Party MPs promptly filed questions to call on the government to explain. Not a single PAP Labour MP asked question about this issue in Parliament in August 2024. Sadly, only one mainstream media outlet saw fit to report on the silence of the PAP Labour MPs. The news outlet Channel News Asia reported, and I quote, "At the Parliament sitting on the 6th of August, when the topic was brought to the fore, no Labour MPs filed any questions or spoke during the debate." My fellow Singaporeans, can you believe that? How is that even possible? Elected PAP MPs who champion NTUC, the union, and workers who represent them should fight hard in Parliament when NTUC issues are raised, particularly issues that Singaporeans are concerned about. Why were they silent?
Instead, lost a job.
Now, to be clear, union work is not easy. Persuading workers while speaking up for them behind closed doors can be difficult work. I believe that rank and file unionists work hard and push hard for better rights for workers because of their passion for workers. I thank them for that. So Singapore, let us help the PAP candidates in Jalan Kayu and Tampines Changkat, who are the top leaders in NTUC, to be full-time NTUC union leaders. We should save them from spending time in Parliament and from managing town councils. If they wish to, they can still lobby the PAP government by virtue of NTUC's symbiotic relationship with the PAP. The NTUC's close relationship with the PAP ensures that NTUC is a guaranteed trampoline for losing PAP candidates. It is the safest trampoline for a politician anywhere in Singapore and maybe anywhere in the world. But you must be a PAP candidate to earn the right to bounce on it. Now, my friends, election come around only once every 5 years. On the 3rd of May, we have an excellent opportunity to build a more robust and balanced political system. Parliament should be where we discuss and where justified support pro-Singapore initiatives, regardless of political party. Maju Singapura! Thank you! Now, my fellow Singaporeans, before I end, I want to share some thoughts on the Prime Minister's press conference earlier this afternoon. It was a serious press conference, so please hear me out. The Prime Minister took a break from the political campaign to speak as a Singaporean. He said, and I quote, "I'm not here to talk about my concerns about the party. I'm here to talk about my concerns for Singapore and our country," unquote. So let me give the Prime Minister the courtesy of doing the same for the next 1 minute. I'm a Singaporean. This is the only home I know. I don't have investment properties overseas. I entered politics to advance and champion a better Singapore than the one I was born in. One that is more just and fairer for all Singaporeans, including our minorities. I passionately believe in a race-neutral Singapore where we are judged based on the color of our skin, but by our deeds and our common humanity. My colleagues and I categorically reject the involvement of any foreign element whatsoever in our domestic politics. Singapore is our business, nobody else's. And if I can put on my party hat to any foreign element, the Workers' Party does not need your support. We only need the support of our people, our fellow Singaporeans. Thank you, Tampines. Thank you, Tampines Changkat. Have a good evening. Thank you. Just like our first rally, a small request for everyone. Please go home safely. Make sure every single piece of litter is cleared from the school compound. And I'll see you at our next rally. All the very best. Thank you.
Okay, we'll all go home safely. Have a good weekend. Thank you so much.
Walk safely towards the MRT station if you like.